Hey guys, Cam from 15 back at it with another video for you guys, joined by my co-host, TheRedWolf. And we are here to talk well, it's not anime, it's actually, I guess you can say, a new cartoon. Now typically I don't talk about regular animated cartoons that are not in relation to anime on the channel. But since we're fans of Sonic the Hedgehog, um, we thought, hey, let's come on here, talk about it, and everything. We got the newest Sonic the Hedgehog TV show called Sonic Prime. You can only stream it on Netflix. It has 8 episodes so far, and just one episode in, I'm already liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot.
Yeah, the first episode is actually 43 minutes, and I made sure to double check that with the other episodes. The other episodes are all 25 minutes long. So typically, your first starting episode, you want to make a good enough impression. So, well, there you go. And
Well, they did it.
yeah, and pretty much most of like things from the trailer we saw and some of the clips we saw before the show released on Netflix was pretty much all contained in this episode. So I'm pretty much blind going into the future episodes now. I don't know how we'll handle future episode reviews, especially with the time Christmas is coming and my co-host is going to be gone for the holidays.
Yeah,
Um, we'll try to do maybe watch the episodes daily. Like maybe tomorrow when we have time, watch episode 2, come back, review episode 2, and everything. So yes, but my history of the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons, I've pretty much watched each and every incarnation of a Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon. I watched Sonic Sat AM. I watched Sonic, a few episodes of Sonic Underground, The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Trying to think of any other Sonic TV shows after those. No, I think after that then is the obviously 4 Kids Sonic X, which honestly is probably the most memorable one for me because I grew up watching Sonic X.
that was honestly my first Sonic experience actually, Sonic X. I have not watched much Sonic as much Sonic as you. I just watched Sonic X, Sonic Boom.
Yes, and then the last TV show was Sonic Boom, which compared to that of the game Sonic Boom, the TV show was actually very underrated and actually pretty good.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Now
Okay,
we're
yeah,
back.
we're back. And actually, fun fact about Sonic X. I watched the 4 Kids, and obviously, 4 Kids isn't the best. There's a lot of blunder when it comes to 4 Kids. Not only Sonic X, 4 Kids is pretty bad. I think the one of the more infamous 4 Kids dub is One Piece, but we don't talk about that.
I have not watched that version of One Piece, so I
Don't
wouldn't know. But
Don't just watch the clips and you'll be like, oh. But hey, the one thing about the 4 Kids dub of One Piece that I guess seen the clips is it is pretty entertaining. If you remember the part when they get to after they get to the Grand Line, they get to the one city and it's supposed to be Luffy and versus Zoro. There's
yes,
legitimately Zoro literally screaming out because Luffy's about to fall on him. If you remember, Zoro literally screaming out, Luffy! So it's funny, but I was at some point I actually have to go watch the Japanese or the English sub version of Sonic X. I actually heard it's a lot better compared to the 4 Kids dub, which is not shocking. But regardless of the fact, Sonic Prime, it's very interesting. It was a very interesting show in the build up to this. I was like, okay, this show when it was first announced, I'm like, okay, so we got a Sonic Netflix series. Oh, all right, I'm fine with it. We'll see how this does. And only one episode in, I'm definitely liking it. So the year of Sonic the year of Sonic's ending off pretty strong.
yeah. First Sonic Frontiers, which has gotten quite a few good reviews, I must say. And this show, OMG.
Yes. So let's get into the first episode. So the first episode is kind of like the beginning of this series, and I guess what it's gonna be about. So We pretty much start off with Sonic running, and he's pretty much narrating. He's like, "Oh, hey guys, my name's Sonic the Hedgehog, fastest thing alive, yada yada yada. I'm collecting my rings and everything." And he goes on to make the mention how he pretty much stops Dr. Eggman with the help of his friends and everything, and it's pretty cool. The animation actually looks really good for this show. I really like the animation, the movements by Sonic and his friends. They're all good.
The movements, the expressions,
Yes, the expressions.
the slight jokes they pull off.
Yes, there were funny. There were pretty funny jokes in this. Even they do have some shading of the fur on them. So yeah, but pretty much we see how we see how Amy Tails Rouge, which okay, she's now joining the Team Sonic in this series show.
I must say, seeing Rouge animated after so long, that is a breath of fresh air.
It is a breath of fresh air. Well, technically, the last time we seen Rouge in any Sonic medium was Forces.
We're not talking games here. Oh Jesus.
And if you're wondering if they gave her typical Rouge the Bat design, no, they heavily. I wouldn't say heavily, but they do censor her. She's wearing pretty much a full-on bodysuit, which. When that Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie comes out, and if she's in the movie, they're definitely gonna do the same exact thing.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Because they don't want another Lola Bunny situation where you gotta, if you watch the original Space Jam.
That was how long ago?
Back in the 90s.
Sheesh. Come on, slam, and welcome to the jam. Oh god.
Anyways. Yeah, we see how Sonic and his friends are like, they're fighting against Dr. Eggman, who's in this cave. And the one thing I'll say this about the guy who's playing Dr. Eggman, I don't have the cast listing up. I'll say this: I do like the Dr. Eggman voice, although I guess you could say he's trying his best Mike Pollock impersonation. There's times in the way he talks, I'm like, he's trying to sound like Mike Pollock. But it's clearly not.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously his friends are fighting Eggman's forces and everything, and they're like, "Where the hell is Sonic? Where's Sonic?" Obviously he's running around, but eventually Sonic shows up, and you get this whole cave battle and everything. Now, the reason why they're fighting is, I guess, the MacGuffin of this series, and that is the Paradox Prism. It's this gigantic, like, crystal that, well, from what we see, can send Sonic in these different dimensions and things like that, like these alternate realities of like certain universes, pretty much. So I guess in a way we got a Sonic multiverse going on. Which it is like a multiverse type of thing. I just mentioned some older Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons.
Into the Sonicverse.
Yeah, he just shows up in the Sonic X universe, and we hear Jason Griffin reprising his role as Sonic the Hedgehog.
Imagine.
That would be dope as shit. That would be dope as shit. I ain't gonna freaking lie. That would be dope as shit. But the thing is, we see them going back and forth. They're wondering, "Oh, where's Sonic? You always arrive late to the party and everything." But Sonic's like, "Oh, don't worry, I got this. We got this." Now, the one thing we kind of see with Sonic in this series so far is, compared to any of the other Sonics, let's be honest, all the other Sonics, even if you're including the game Sonics, this Sonic is very hard-headed and stubborn, and he does not listen to his friends.
Yeah, he's kind of just rushes in without a plan.
Yeah, and even we do get a flashback moment where Tails was warning him, like when he was first fighting Eggman, who wasn't, like, I guess, piloting this, like, I guess, Egg Dragoon type of thing. We see Tails is like, "It's a trap!" And even though Sonic can clearly hear him, he doesn't really listen. So, he's kind of hard-headed. He doesn't really listen and everything. And we kind of see it how him not listening and him falling for another one of Eggman's traps, which is shockingly enough, you think Knuckles is typically the gullible one. I guess in this series, it's Sonic that is kind of the one that is somewhat gullible and doesn't think before he does anything. So I don't know, like if we're dealing with a much, I don't know if we're dealing with like a younger Sonic or something like that. But it's established that like he's been around for a while, so yeah. So he ends up having a clash with Eggman, and our Eggman ends up, doing it himself. We also see Orbot and Cubot. They make a return finally. The last time we saw them was Sonic Forces. Now they were referenced in Frontiers by Sage, but it's the return of Orbot and Cubot. Fine by me. Eggman takes things in his own hands. He ends up almost pulling out the Paradox Crystal, but Sonic stupidly rolls into a ball and smashes the entire Paradox Prism into pieces, creating a big explosion. And where does he end up waking up?
I guess in a more futuristic world, like where it's all tech and no greenish, hillish.
Yeah, it was definitely pretty funny to see him running around and like, wait, what the heck is this? And I remember the thing that when you had the freaking animals on I'll just say the Mobians, they're on the freaking escalator moving straight and everything. Like if you go to an airport or something, and he's talking, he was like, hey, do you know where I'm at and everything? And they're just like.
Yeah, they're just ignoring him.
Yeah, they're just like, I'm not fucking talking to this guy. He needs to shut the fuck up. And even when Big shows up, he's like, I don't think you should be talking to me. Oh my gosh! And then when the freaking robots end up catching Sonic, he's like. The Big's like, oh shit, and he starts running away. I'm like, oh my freaking gosh, this is absolutely hilarious. So obviously Sonic's getting chased. What is the interesting thing? Just seeing Sonic just run around and being chased.
His shoes aren't his shoes are like slipping and he's not running correctly. Like what's going on?
Yeah, I feel like this has something to do with this Paradox Prism thing. Like, it affected his shoes or something like that. I don't know. I guess that will be explained later on, but I was like, why is his shoes like I got like this electricity and everything. It looks, and even by the time he meets up with Not Tails, nine. What is it? His feet were almost damn near burning. So yes, Sonic's running away from these robots who he can see that, well, it's clearly has something to do with Eggman. He ends up going up to like the skyscraper and everything, and then he sees literally the loop from Green Hill, and he's like, this ain't a new city, this is Green Hill. And I'm like, oh, is this like something? I'm just guessing. I'm like, oh, so this universe is if Sonic Forces actually fucking happened for reals. Eggman got his fucking ways, and this is what we were supposed to see in Sonic fucking Forces. Pretty much Eggman land.
Okay, but where's Infinite?
I'm not mentioning Infinite. I'm just saying, this is what the landscaping of the game should look like when you have Eggman taking over. That's just me. I ain't pulling anything from damn games. Fuck Forces anyways. Anyway. Yeah. Sonic's kind of behooved by this. And then he ends up running into a gigantic robot talking like a baby.
Yeah. And we see this robot suddenly pull out a rattle. And what's it do?
Explain to the audience how this chase goes.
Yes, first it pulls out the rattle. Sonic was all like, a rattle? Yeah, you're gonna have to do better than me. He literally gets punched in the face, and Sonic starts running away, and the baby talking robot starts, I don't know, chasing him, and then Sonic starts beating him down, and then the hatch opens up. It's literally a baby Eggman.
I'm gonna lie, I was like, wait, what?
It was like I saw this coming, but at the same time I didn't.
I was at a loss for words. I was like, wait, hold on. How the fuck is he a baby in this universe? Um, which he was freaking all pissed off and everything, and I'm just like, the fuck's going on here? What is this supposed to mean? I'm like, this got to be a joke, right? This has got to be a joke.
Mhm.
So Sonic ends up running into a pipe to escape from baby Dr. Eggman, which, funny enough, the baby Dr. Eggman looked honest to God more like Robotnik, his first incarnation,
Mhm.
than anything, because he had like the pointy head and then like the little parting, red hair. I'm like, he looks more like Robotnik. Didn't he also have a mustache too?
No, he didn't.
Okay,
He didn't.
I was about to say. Um, Now, in the meantime, as Sonic runs into this pipe, we see an alternate reality version of Knuckles and Rouge looking at it, just observing. He's like, "Oh, that's a very fast head. It's a very fast creature right there. I don't know what that is. Maybe that person could be good. Maybe we should work with them." But then they're like, "Maybe that might be a trap. It might lead us to a trap to the Council of Chaos." I believe that's what they said, right?
Yes, I believe that's what they said.
Yeah. Yeah. These are alternate realities. That's the one thing I also know. Like, he's gonna go to these different, like, I guess, universes, and his friends are gonna be, I guess, tailored more to that representative universe. I know we're going to like a pirate-like universe, so some of his friends are gonna be like pirates, which it's freaking interesting to see what the hell does this Paradox Prism do. How much did Sonic ultimately fuck up by freaking smashing this thing?
Either they're pirates or just military forces.
Yeah, here they're military force. I'm saying they're, and I know in the future there's like a pirate theme,
Mm.
and everything, just from the trailers alone. But this, yeah, they look more like a rebellion against the Council of Chaos. So, in other words, and I guess another Sonic Forces reference. I guess we got Commander Knuckles again.
Yes. Although I feel like Rouge is leading the charge in this one.
That is true. We this is when we get the flashback at some point in the episode before the prism smash. And what was the build up to even Eggman getting into the cave?
Well, Sonic does his usual thing, runs ahead, and Amy was all like, "Yep, he didn't listen to a single thing." So, but Tails says like, "Well, he hasn't let us down before, so." And it turns out Sonic is taking a detour to collect some rings.
Oh, before that. Like how I'm talking about the first flashback where he's fighting the Egg Dragoon at first with no Eggman in it. I'm talking about that part.
Oh yeah,
Go ahead.
he was fighting yeah, he was fighting that Egg Dragoon, and Tails was trying to warn him like it's a trap. There's no Eggman inside, but well, Sonic was kind of like giving into giving into temptation because apparently Eggman insulted Tails, and yeah, Sonic speeds in and does a spin dash move and makes the Egg Dragon crash down, which causes a huge explosion, which literally cracks the mountain, literally literally shakes the world. I don't know where to go from here.
Yes. So after that, Tails comes down, or well, Tails flies off. Actually, he's still in his plane because he's pretty pissed off that Sonic didn't listen to him. And I think that's when Amy and Knuckles made the reference like, Tails looks kind of pissed, more than I've ever seen before. So yeah, Sonic tries to reconcile with Tails. And well, first Sonic realizes Eggman's not in there. And then he takes this thing out of the Egg Dragoon. But obviously Eggman in the background, he's like, yes, he did it for me, damn it. So Sonic goes back to Tails' workshop, that looks similar to that from Sonic Adventure. And he's pretty much trying to reconcile with Tails. He's like, "Hey, buddy, what's up?" And Tails is like, "Sonic, I don't want to hear your bullshit right now." Pretty much, that's what he pretty much was saying. Even though Sonic was trying to like, "Hey, look, I'm sorry. I know I didn't mean to piss you off, my friend. Is there anything I can do?" And he's like, "No, I'm just trying to figure out what Eggman's goal is." He's pretty much like, "There wasn't anything in the wreckage where you had it to where there was something out of it." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I actually do. Let me go get it from the garbage disposal." So he comes back with this device that pretty much amplified Sonic's attack and made this big explosion, which created this whole thing. Again, my co-host made a mention. They found out what they were doing, or Rouge ends up saying, like, "Yeah, there's this interesting jewel that I want to get of," because of course she's a jewel thief. She's like, there's this thing called the Paradox Prism. So the thing is, eventually, I guess, well, I'll say Team Sonic, even though it should be really technically Tails, Knuckles, and I guess now Amy in the mix, but now Team Sonic is, I guess, for this show, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, and Rouge the Bat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now they all go off to go fly and find out what Eggman's doing. They end up getting to the mountain area, see that there's something cooking in there, with Eggman. And they're like, "Wow, we beat Sonic here?" And they're like, "Sonic will catch up. He's fast." And that's what my co-host said. He's messing around,
Collecting rings before the battle, and that's when he runs into someone else.
Yeah, the episode ends off with him running into Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yes.
Okay. Now, we covered the thing. Now, before we get back, eventually Sonic escapes. And again, he's looking for Tails to find out what the hell's going on. He ends up finding Tails, but in a way it's Tails, but it's not like Tails, but it is Tails.
Yeah, like Sonic was all relieved, walks up to Tails, like spins his chair around. Tails got all freaked out, and he like he suddenly starts attacking Sonic.
Yeah, and he calls himself, "I'm not Tails, I'm Nine!"
Wow.
Yeah, he ends up saving. They end up having like damn near a Spider-Man train battle. But Sonic's not really trying to hurt Tails. Or Nine is the one trying to attack Sonic. But eventually, when it looks like Nine is going to get literally killed by this other train on the other side, Sonic comes in and saves him. And that's when we get the backstory to this version of Tails, pretty much. What is the backstory?
Well, it turns out differently. He gets bullied, and he got hurt, and in the end he created those 9 tails in order to like defend himself from now on.
Yeah, so this backstory for Tails in this universe, it's somewhat similar to that of the original backstory of Tails, because the original backstory of Tails, again, if you don't know, this episode told it to you, but if you don't know Sonic lore, that's going back to Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Tails was bullied by these other critters, and Sonic ran by and helped him a bit, and Tails thought Sonic was cool, and he decided to follow him. That's where so in Nine's backstory, it's as if Sonic never existed.
Mm-hmm.
Very much. And it's like these characters in this universe don't even know who the frick Sonic is, because I guess there is no blue hedgehog in this universe. So yeah, they reconcile. Nine, or this version, Tails, pretty much helps Sonic out. He uses the energy from the prism, I guess, from his feet to upgrade Sonic a bit, and Sonic has new shoes. He's got these, like, I guess you could say, like, these things on his hands. These robotic
Gauntlets?
things. Huh?
Gauntlets?
Yeah, gauntlets or something. I don't know. And, you know, he can run fine and normal again like he typically can. Now, Sonic is about to leave, but Tails is like, well, you can't freaking go. The Council of Chaos will find you, and if they find us, well, then it's all over. He's like, the Council of Chaos? Who the hell are these guys? They're pretty much, I guess you could say, the dictators that run this universe. Which, when they end up getting caught, who do we find out who is in these Council of Chaos?
Well, first off, we meet robotic Amy Rose.
Yeah, I forgot what she called herself in this.
I forgot also. Damn it. Something Rose.
Yeah, he's trying to call someone. Sonic's like, Amy. She's like, I'm not that. I'm this Rose. I'm like, what the frick? She's completely robotic too.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, continue.
Here we get introduced to the council, which is basically a group of Eggmen.
Yeah.
Including the baby.
I don't know what the baby has to say about this, but okay.
Goo Goo Gaga, that's what he has to say.
They all have unique designs and all different unique personalities, but the one thing is they're all Eggman, so that's kind of the one thing. And pretty much they saw the readings that Sonic originally originally had when he first came to this universe, and they're like, let's do a test. So they pretty much throw like damn near a lethal gauntlet at him. Yeah, it was crazy, and they're like, oh, crazy, and we see at the end of this, before we get to that flashback where it explains, in the build up to Sonic getting to the trying to get to the mountain of the Paradox Prism, we just see Sonic just running around, in this, I guess you could say, this hamster ball or this, spear-like object, and he's just running so fast. And again, he's pissed off too because they're threatening his friends and everything, or they're about to threaten Tails, and he's just running. And then I guess he's giving out the same energy readings as when he first, showed up and everything. So, yeah, and then you get the whole thing. The episode ends off with Sonic clearly running into Shadow. So I'm guessing next episode there's a Sonic the Hedgehog versus Shadow battle, but I haven't watched the second episode, so I want to know.
I started it. I'm not gonna say anything, but I did start it.
Damn you. Well, yeah, but overall, it was a great start to Sonic Prime. I definitely enjoyed it.
Yes.
I like all the voice actors. I think they all do a good job. I'm very interested to see where the story is gonna go, especially with all this, I guess, universe jumping. And I'm gonna be interested to see these different, unique versions of his friends.
Yeah.
So, yes. But anyways, anything else you want to say about Sonic Prime or your thoughts?
I'm actually really excited for the next episodes.
Oh yeah. So it's pretty good. It's really good. I'm liking it. Remember, you can only see Sonic Prime if you have a Netflix account. Otherwise, too bad. But anyways, we're gonna get out of here. If you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this. We are on the first episode of Sonic Prime, as well as hit the subscribe button if you want to get more Sonic Prime content or any other anime content that I upload to the channel, and things like that. But yeah, not only hit the subscribe button to my channel, but hit the subscribe button to my co-host channel. I know right now it's not going well over there for him, but he's making do with what he's got to do, right?
I'm just doing my best here.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, he actually had a blind Sonic Frontiers playthrough up on his channel. He only has like 3 episodes up there. And then after that, I guess you could say his laptop had storage issues.
Now I was not able to upload.
Yep. So he had to end up playing Sonic Frontiers on his own time because I think it's been way long that somehow he's avoided spoilers.
Yes. Now I can avoid less and less spoilers now that I've been a little further into the game now.
Yeah. I actually already did a review and gave my thoughts on Sonic Frontiers, so if you want to check that on the channel, I'll leave it at the outro. But other than that, guys, this has been Camper 15
and TheRedWolf.
And we're signing out for tonight. Till then, guys, stay safe out there and have a great rest of your evening or day when you're checking this video. Peace.
Yes.